Prepare your ears, humans. Happy, sad, confused begins now.
Hey guys, it's Josh. Welcome to another edition of Happy, Sad, Confused. This episode, let me introduce you to your new television obsession. We are talking Pluribus with the cast, Rhea Seehorn, and the creator, the one and only Vince Gilligan. Hey guys, it's Josh. Welcome to another edition of the podcast. Whether you are enjoying this via YouTube, Spotify, however you're enjoying the pod, I appreciate you guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. So thrilled to share this episode. Vince Gilligan, never been on the show. Such a fan of his work. How can I not be? From The X-Files, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and now Pluribus, which, if you know, you know. The reviews are in. This show, I feel very justified because I got a chance to watch some episodes of this very early on, and I was like, this is awesome. Everyone's going to love this, right? Sure enough, everybody loves it. This is a conversation we recorded way back when in October, around New York Comic-Con. More on that in a second. First, I want to just tell folks about other things cooking in the Happy, Sad, Confused universe. As always, check out our Patreon. That's where you get all the early access, discount codes, merch, all that cool stuff. Patreon.com/Happy, Sad, Confused. And we do have a lot going on, including events with Brendan Fraser next week, first-time guest on the podcast. We are screening his new film, Rental Family, which is so sweet, delightful. Brendan, fantastic in it. And I'm so excited to chat about his entire career. That's going to be really special, and tickets are still available. If you're in New York next week, check it out. All the information, as always, is in the show notes. And then a little later on, in a few weeks in December, if you have a Percy Jackson fan in your life, this one's for you. Walker Scobell is going to be chatting with me. I've done a few events and conversations with Walker, and finally I get him one-on-one for the new season of Percy Jackson. This is going to be a big one. Tickets are selling fast at the 92nd Street Y, so get your tickets now if you can. Again, the information is in the show notes. More events are coming up. I just can't announce them yet, but really cool stuff. Patreon.com/Happy, Sad, Confused. Your one-stop shopping for everything that I do. Okay, a little bit more context, and then I'll let you guys dive into this conversation. As I said, we recorded this back at New York Comic-Con. It was actually a special screening of the first episode of Pluribus, which is the new series on Apple TV+. It is out in the world now. We screened the first episode early for these fans, and then we surprised them with 3 of the cast members of Pluribus, including the epically amazing Rhea Seehorn. You know her and love her from her work in Better Call Saul. And this show is really formed around her by Vince Gilligan, coming off of Better Call Saul as a vehicle for her. And she's just, as you would expect, amazing in it. You don't need to know much about the show. It's essentially, it's a high concept premise. A little bit back to Vince's X-Files roots, in that it kind of feels like a Twilight Zone premise, where Carol, this author that Rhea plays, turns out to be kind of one of the last human beings left on Earth, in a way, after a bit of a invasion from another species. So yes, there is a big sci-fi element to this, but it is also very dramatic, very funny, very quirky. In other words, all the Vince Gilligan sensibilities come to play here. I immediately got hooked. This episode's probably best consumed after you see the first episode of the show. Not that we're not really spoiling anything too much coming up, but since this is a deep dive into the show, best to enjoy it that way. And Vince, as you'll hear and see, just like the sweetest, smartest, most interesting guy. And just to dive into his brain a little bit and see how he makes what he makes. A lot of fun. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to toss to myself. As I said, this was one of our live events at a theater in New York City, before a audience who got a chance to see the first episode of Pluribus. Check it out on Apple TV Plus, and enjoy my conversation with Vince, with Rhea, with 2 other fantastic actors from Pluribus, and check out the show. Highly recommended. Enjoy.
Give it up for this amazing show, guys, from the mind of Vince Gilligan. Come on. Did I not promise something special? This show so delivers. I've gotten a sneak peek of stuff to come afterwards. It just gets better and better. you guys are in for a treat. And you're in for a treat tonight, too, because you walked into not only this special advanced screening of Pluribus, but also my podcast. You're inside Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and I'm so thrilled. I'm going to be welcoming some amazing actors and amazing creative mind tonight to dive into the world of Pluribus. I will say, you guys, like I said, you're kind of the first to see this, so don't spread the spoilers around, guys. Don't spill the secrets of Pluribus, okay? Do I have your promise? Yes? Okay. Please give a warm welcome to these amazing actors, to Miriam Shore. Miriam, come on out. To Karolina Wydra. Karolina, come on out. To Rhea Seehorn. Rhea Seehorn, everybody. And we can't do this without Mr. Vince Gilligan. Vince, come on out.
Thank you. That was nice.
That's a good start.
Yeah, that was a great start.
Congratulations, guys. This show has been very secretive. Nobody knows anything about this show. Now they start to know about this show. Was that part of the design? Vince, did you want to keep this under wraps very specifically to kind of maintain the surprise for an audience?
Yeah, very much so. And Josh, thank you for what you said. Thank you guys for your discretion. I like it. My favorite times I've ever seen a movie or a TV show, and I have all these great memories of times where I went into something completely cold. I remember one time I was going to go see a Clint Eastwood movie called White Hunter, Black Heart, and I get to the theater in Richmond, Virginia, and instead they say, "Oh, we got a surprise. We're not showing the movie you paid to see," you know. And I'm like, "God damn it!" And then it was Miller's Crossing, which I knew nothing about. A great movie. So stuff like that I love, and I tend to like things to be spoiler free. So again, thank you guys for your discretion as far as not posting the whole totality of this thing on the internet. I appreciate. We all appreciate that very much.
It is a bit of a flex, I will say, that you're able to kind of like market a show just on Rhea, on Vince, and a name Pluribus. That means like nothing to anybody on the planet, right? Like
we're all
Pluribus
Americans.
has a huge following. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pluribus unum. We're all Americans. We don't.
So was there a long list of titles? Was it always this title?
It was the hardest damn thing coming up with a title for this. It took us 2 years. This was the hardest single, longest titling. We were in a title desert for over two or 3 years trying to figure out.
Is that true? More than Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad?
Well, Better Call Saul was about the easiest one ever, right?
Have you seen
Okay,
Breaking
fine.
Bad?
What about Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad came pretty quick, and because it's an old expression. Growing up as you did, we both grew up in Virginia.
I know, but I never heard that.
You never heard Breaking Bad?
Did you guys hear that? No, I never heard that.
Well,
I think you made this up.
No, well, Zach Van Amberg and Jamie Ehrlich, who are our executives at Sony, who are now our bosses at Apple TV Plus, they said the same thing. They said, what the hell's Breaking Bad? And I said, well, it's an old Southern expression. It means to raise hell. Like, I really, I really broke bad last night. I was down at the bar and I drank 7 whiskeys and then I wound up in the back of a cop car. I really broke bad. And I thought everybody knew that, and they said no. But they said I think you need a better title. But we never, and then they never pressed me on it after that because But that one came pretty early in the process.
Such a great title.
Breaking Bad or
Pluribus unum.
Breaking Bad, Pluribus.
3 for 3. Better Call Saul. They're all great.
Wow, that one was pretty easy.
But you're being a Latin student is why you wanted Pluribus, right?
Well, we had
The Latin audience.
He just told me he took
yeah.
Latin last night, so that's why I'm asking.
We had a list of it's 5 years of
How about the Latin
Yeah,
students?
let's give it up for the Latin
Yeah.
students. But we had a list of nearly 100, maybe over 100 titles. The worst one of all, I can tell you, was Be Kind, Remind.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the shittiest one of all.
It got a
So
laugh,
sorry
I'll
to hear
say
about that. For our show.
Would
you
our
like
show?
Be Kind Remind?
Would you have accepted the offer, Karolina, to be kind?
Nope, that'd be a hard one.
Yeah, would you try to get out of your contract?
Please, anybody signs up for Untitled Vince Gilligan project. It doesn't matter, guys.
It does not matter. Very true.
All right, so talk to me a little bit, Ray. When did you know that this was cooking? At what point does...
We were wrapping up we had wrapped Better Call Saul shooting, and I had gone back to Los Angeles. They're still doing post, and very fortunate that some people wanted to meet with me to talk to me about doing other shows and stuff, and they were all lovely, and the scripts were lovely, but I just thought, I hope my writers and showrunners and directors and producers know that I would follow them anywhere. I would do whatever they wanted to do. I'll do like 5 lines in the background. Part of that is the scripts that you might imagine they're the best you can get, but it's also the environment that they surround you with. Everyone at their A game, props, greenery, sound. Like anybody you could pull aside and talk to them for 5 hours and learn something, learn a lot. Then this third rail, I would say, is whatever you guys do, whatever you do or aspire to do, if someone said, I'm going to give you a challenge, it's going to be something that's going to push you, that's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, but you'll get better if you try. And then I tell you, when you go to the workspace that you're going to do this in, an office, a set, whatever, I want to give you 300 people that are like, you're going to do it, Ray. You're the person that can handle this. You're the person that's going to soar. I will not let you fall. That's what Vince employs around you. And so I was kind of like, is there a way to stay on this set? So I started calling all of them, and I called all of my writers and my producers and directors. And when I got to Vince and Peter, because you guys were together because you were doing post, right? You were in the same room. I know you were together when I called.
When you called when I gave you the script?
Ask like, hey, I just want to be on your shows. Hey, and then Peter said, I would love to work with you. Absolutely. But I really think Vince needs to say something.
Right. And I had told Melissa Bernstein, our wonderful executive producer, I said, can you kind of keep, not like a spy or something, but can you kind of keep tabs on Ray as this show is wrapping up? Please tell her she's about to sign a big deal, because I don't want to show her the script, because you read, I didn't really pitch it to you, just read, I'm sorry, it sounds like I'm beatboxing or something. You're better
doing
talking
great.
into this.
It's really musical.
We're about to win American Idol, is what I want you to know.
But I wanted you to read the script because I'm a better writer than I'm a talker. But it takes the time it takes to get it. You only get one first read. But then in the meantime, I'd ask Melissa, you're talking to Ray a lot. If you hear she's going to sign, if she's leaning toward taking another job, please let me know. So that's how I remember it. And then when you read it, you were in the boonies somewhere without cell service, right?
Yeah. So I didn't have it. I then called Peter and Vince, and they were together, and I was like, hey, it should go without saying that I want to work with you guys no matter what you do, but just in case it doesn't go without saying, I want to say it. And Peter said, I totally want to work with you. I have stuff for you, but I really think, Peter Gould, I really think Vince needs to say something. And I was like, what? What's going on? And then Vince said, I'm a really bad impressionist. But people do impressions of you, right?
Bryan Cranston does one that is
Does he do a good one?
Highly offensive.
Bob's is good. A lot of people do good ones.
We like bad ones, though, Ray.
Have a good
Come on.
one? Do you guys have a good one of him?
I don't think I can do one, no.
I don't think I can do it either.
No. Okay. Here's my shitty one. He goes, I wrote something for you if you're interested.
Vince, is that you, Vince?
That's even more offensive than Brian's. Brian's is all like Slim Pickens. Like, well, I don't know.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I don't think you're that Southern.
No. I'm just joking. That's adorable.
But there's a lot of humility. And I was like, if you're interested, what are you talking about? Like, of course I'm interested. So, yeah, he just said, I wrote something for you if you're interested. And I said, then, yes, I'll do that. When are we doing it? I'm telling everybody else no. And he's like, well, I'm not ready to give you the script. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. Whatever you want to do, I'm on board. Whatever spaceship he's building, I'm getting in.
Wait,
and
is there a
I feel like his
spaceship in the show,
fans
too?
feel that way.
Are we going to get a spaceship? Did you just spoil
That's not a
something?
spoiler. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, not a spoiler, but season 2 is
metaphor.
in a spaceship. Did you see Pigs in Space, the Muppet thing?
Yeah, my favorite
It's
movie.
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Sorry, spoiler.
Yeah, but I feel like if you thought Vince was a genius, which we all do, then when the fact that he created a show for Ray makes you go, oh, yeah, I was right. He's a genius. Because that's who I want to see.
So you guys are new.
Love you.
You guys are new to the Vince family. Tell me, how does the script read? How does the log line read? Like, did you know what you were getting into right from the start, or what?
I didn't know. I got a secret audition of just like a scene that was going to be something like, but you didn't like. I didn't
fake sides.
Yeah, they were fake sides. Yeah, but I weirdly knew, like, I got fake sides. What does that mean? They were like, we don't know about her. Give her fake sides. But I knew what you wanted from it. Was so clear. The writing was still great. And then when I read the actual script, I didn't care. I was like, of course I'm going to be in whatever Vince Gilligan does. But then I read the script and I felt like that Vince had crawled inside my weird head and said, like, I'm going to write the show for her. Look at all that weird stuff she's thinking about. Let me put that in a show and then put Ray in it. So I was like, this is the show I want to watch. Thanks for writing it. And thanks for putting me in it.
Can you tell them what you said to Chris Carter years ago?
So embarrassing.
Oh, yes.
I was doing one
She
of them.
wanted to be on X-Files.
Of course
and
I
ran
wanted to
into
be
him
on the
a
X-Files.
set.
I only learned this 2
And
nights
did
ago.
one
Of course I wanted to
normally
be on
I
the
think of these
X-Files.
as Karolina lines. She did a Karolina line to Chris
No,
Carter.
I said I was doing one of the many failed sitcoms that no one's ever seen except my mom, and she loved them. But and I saw Chris Carter on the lot, and I love the X-Files, so I went up to him and I was like, "Oh, Chris, I'd do I would bite the head off a chicken to be on that show." And he
Carolina,
just like
that's
backed.
what she said
Yeah, I said
on
it
a
too,
lot.
and he
I would
backed
bite the
away
head off a
slowly.
chicken.
Yeah, weirdly, he didn't write me a role where I got to bite the
That's
head
so
off a
weird.
chicken.
He didn't
That
cast
feels
her.
like the X-Files, right? But no, yeah. So
If you had said that
Vince,
to me, I would have hired you.
Thank you. Actually, that's how I got the job, guys. We were in an elevator. I was like, I'll bite the head off a chicken to be on her show.
The rest
Episode
is
4.
history. Yeah.
I'll bite the head off a chicken.
Carolina,
I'm actually going to do it at the end of this. So
gonna
stay.
Carolina, how many chickens' heads were bitten off to get your role in this
A
one?
lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
How did
You
know
have
what's so
fake
interesting?
sides?
No, I didn't, but I had a fake name and I didn't know what when I first auditioned for it, I had no idea what the show was about. So I just went blindly into doing it. And then once I did it, and the whole story is wild how it all came about. And I put myself on tape. Then days passed and I tested for it. And I got the 2 scripts because I'm not in the first script. And just reading the world and what Vince created was just unbelievable. I was like, oh my God, this is so wild and so incredible. And then I tested for it and I met Ray and she was so incredible and so giving and so loving. And Vince was the same way. We sat around, we talked for a while and it all just, yeah. It was really a special experience.
Like Vince has a reputation for being the nicest man, I think, in show business. Do you know that? Yeah, and it's true.
just so kind, you guys. So kind. It makes you
Actually,
feel
he's
so welcome. And Ray, you're
guys
the
are
same
very
way.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
No, it's the
You're
truth.
bizarrely kind. It's like,
I'm getting asshole vibes.
yeah, no,
over
you
here right
right.
now. I
That's
don't
an
know.
act he puts on for
Right?
you guys.
Yeah.
But no, it's such an amazing set. Like every single person there is respected, and
You 2 guys fit right in, and you're so wonderful, both of you. As you can tell for watching the 2 episodes.
Thank
and
you.
No, you guys fit right in. You're just we actually do with any role we big, large or small. These are large ones, but even the small ones, we do as much due diligence as we can. And that's even for behind the camera, folks working on the show. We ask around and we just, want to adhere to a strict no asshole policy. So
And
that,
it's
which
so
is
true.
important, yeah.
Everybody, starting from you and Ray, everyone is just so kind and so wants to be there. Everyone that's on set, the crew members, like the cast loves each other so much, and it's like true, genuine love for one another, and they're so supportive. And it's just such a beautiful family to be a part of. You know, I feel so blessed. Thank you, Vince, for making me part of this family, because
ditto.
it's really special. It's one of a kind. You don't get this often. You know,
It is definitely a unique place to work.
it really is. And everybody's been with you for so many years since Breaking Bad, and everyone keeps coming back to work with Vince because of who you are, your genius writing, your all that, but who you are as a person, what you bring to the table. People want to do their best work, and they want to do even better because you want to make sure that Vince is happy, you know? And it's such a great creative experience. You know, you want to do your best and even better and better and better and challenge yourself to do the best that you can and push yourself. And everyone does that. Everyone on set. It's incredible.
Yeah, like kind and nice. And then what is going on in your head that you create these incredibly insane worlds where like the worst things happen? It's amazing.
Let's get into that insane mind, because now we can start to talk about the concept of the show. This audience has seen the first 2 episodes. We're running this podcast after the first
Thank
2.
God, because I need to talk about it.
Right?
No one has seen it, and we don't get to talk to anybody.
Let's get it out. Get it out of your system, Ray. Talk to me a little bit about just the basic concept behind this, because this does seem to be like an accumulation of all your experiences. We talk about the X-Files. You grew up a sci-fi kid, and there's that tendency in you, but it has the funny, quirky, dark humor that we've seen in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but it also feels very reflective of the times we're living in. I don't know, just give me a sense of sort of like how you cook this one up and what's the germ of the idea that spawns this?
Well, I'm slower than mud, so if it seems really timely, and that's completely up to you guys, the audience everywhere, to infer what you will and to find thematically what you choose to find. And I'm all for that, because I think once we make this thing, it's up to the audience to evaluate it and dissect it, and with any show, not just this one. But I'm very slow, and the germ of this idea came to me somewhere around 8, maybe even 8, 9, 10 years ago. We were working on, Peter Gould and I had just started Better Call Saul. And we're having a great time working on it. And we'd take these long lunch breaks from the writer's room, and I'd walk around Toluca Lake, California, near our offices. And I started kind of daydreaming about this story about a guy who everybody's really, really nice to him. And everybody is really solicitous. They do anything for this guy. They just love him unconditionally. I mean, anybody, men, women, anybody on earth. And that intrigued me, and I didn't know what the hell reason people would be so nice to this one guy for. So that's, I don't know where that idea came from, but I enjoyed daydreaming about it. And then I'm thinking, well, is this 2 hours worth of story? Is it 100 hours worth of story? Meaning, is it a movie? Is it a TV series? Or maybe it's a mini series somewhere in between the two. And as I started to put a little flesh on the bones, which is just, it takes a long time, at least for me, it took months. But as this was happening, the wonderful good fortune on my part is, as I said, we're working on Better Call Saul. And Peter and I and all of our writers and all the crew, everybody involved in that show, just loves Rhea Seehorn. She just, because the first time I had ever worked with her, and first time Peter had worked with her, all of us, and all the other actors, Bob Odenkirk, everybody. And I thought to myself, I wonder, it doesn't have to be a guy who's getting treated well by everybody.
Amen.
A female
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
True.
I can hear you.
Did I do that thing where my brain talks out my mouth? Okay.
I start with character typically, and I'm not looking to have an axe to grind typically. Like with Breaking Bad, when it came out, talking to all the reviewers who were all very, very nice about it, but so many questions about, this is obviously an indictment of the healthcare system of the United States. And I was like, nah, it's just about a guy who cooks crystal meth. So,
Sometimes it is just what it is.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
So when you read this part, what turned into Carol, I mean, what a delicious part to dive into. The juxtaposition of this pretty miserable human being surrounded by this insane world event and everybody being insanely nice to her, driving her insane. I mean, give me a sense of just sort of what you made of her right from the start and what's been the pleasure of playing her in this first season.
We were in an interview yesterday, Vince and I, and they were asking about, and I've been asked many times, like, what do you mean by this tagline, the most miserable person on earth? Is she really the most miserable person on earth? This is so obvious, and you guys all got it. I didn't, because I'm that dense. You said, in the new world, she's the most miserable person, which is fair. Absolutely a fair assessment. It still was part of what I was thinking from the beginning of like this misanthrope. When I read the pilot, that's the first script I got. And it's the only script I had for a long time. And if you guys had only seen the pilot, that is a little bit of a separate show. It starts to dovetail in where we will go, but you know what I mean by like the physical threat changes to a psychological threat. And you kind of start to understand the humor and the other stuff we will explore. So I was reading that and I was like, oh, this is incredible. And it's also like, it's physically demanding. It's emotionally demanding. Then I get the second script and I was like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's going to be this and it's going to be that. And then it's not that. It's not that. And we keep exploring it, which I knew Vince would do because he does that and he loves to do that. But then I got so excited and then I got so scared. I was like, wait, he thinks I can do this. It's hilarious sometimes. And then it is like gut-wrenchingly painful. And then it's psychological. I was like, then there's, we can't give spoilers, right?
Not past two.
Well, you can talk about the first two, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
scene. I'm fine. I'm fine in it, right?
Yeah.
I do okay, right?
Yep.
But I didn't get to see the end.
No one tell Miriam. No
Okay,
one tell
this
her.
is all I will say is like, it keeps going. Every time these tropes and these ideas, the same as for you as the audience is the same for me as the actor, where I was like, I think I know where it's going. You might feel the same. And then it changed. It just kept shifting. And I understand a lot of the themes and points of reference it's bringing up. And believe me, I stayed up late at night, and Karolina and I did, Miriam and I did, our crew did. There are big questions to grapple with, but one of my favorite things about the show, among many, is that it's the human nature question that's at the heart of it the whole time. You know, like what does being happy mean? What does being content actually mean? What does your success mean? How do you define success? How do you define love? How do you Carol, yeah, she's the most miserable person now, but she was actually miserable before because she wouldn't even take in what was bringing her joy before.
That was me.
So I was playing Miriam earlier. No, like she's the buffer, right?
Right. She's a success. She's a successful author that is just hollow inside. Clearly, there's a hole.
Hollow, or we talked about this a lot about like why does she hate her fans so much, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and Vince told me, rightfully so, she doesn't hate them, she hates herself. Right? And I've always thought as an actor, it's terrifying to think if you believe them when they say you're great, you have to believe them when you say you're a piece of shit. Am I allowed to say that? But you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's very scary. And also we didn't look it up. Is it Groucho Marx or Woody Allen that says like you don't want to be a member of a club that wants you as a member?
I feel like it's Woody that referenced Groucho Marx.
I think it's Groucho originally.
That's an original Groucho.
And then Woody would always reference Groucho.
I think so.
Yeah.
You were right. I thought it was the opposite. So,
you know what? That's the point of this entire post-show discussion.
That you won? You won the anecdote
I won.
story?
Yeah. So I don't think I answered your question
You
other
answered
than...
some questions, which were great, though.
Okay,
great.
thanks.
You win. You're
I was shitting my pants. That's the answer to my question.
You did great.
Thank you so much.
all of these roles present great challenges. Karolina, I mean, this is a challenging role. This is an interesting person. I don't know what do you call these the people that have been
The others.
Is that what we're calling them?
The others.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the others. Yep.
So, is there a guide to playing the others that Vince gave you, like in terms of like attitude, how happy to be, how positive to be, or?
Yeah, I think we work with Vince would push me to go further and further into that world of happiness, and we'd discuss it on set. And sometimes you would say, and that's the genius of Vince writing, because he sees things in the way you're like, am I going too far? Is this going to be too far? But there's so much humor in it, And it's just, there's, in the first scene where you see me meet Carol, there's just so much humor in it. And just, yeah, so just like we would talk about who are these people, and the contentment, the happiness, that what they're experiencing, how having the whole world in your mind, having muscle memory to do any task. So it was challenging, and also not reciprocating any empathy as far as, acting and reacting with Ray when she's having her feelings, just holding space for Carol, the character, and having her go through her journey and holding space for her, and knowing that once she comes to our side, she will understand how good this is. Right. So it's just such opposing views. Carol,
I have to like shut off all your instincts as an actor.
Yeah,
to, like,
absolutely,
react.
absolutely, all the time. And there was moments where, also, in my first days on set, you have, your first day jitters, and it's like, well, this character doesn't have that. Normally you're like, give it to your character, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing. And I was like, you can't do that. So you have to feel confident and empowered and all these things.
You couldn't be a neurotic mess. You couldn't be a neurotic mess because you're like, that's just not my character.
Yeah, that's just not my character. I'm just at peace. But yeah, it was a great challenge, and just trusting and the whole experience. And I mean, as you guys saw, I did Taxi, a C-130, Hercules. So,
no big deal.
No big deal.
For real.
But that was for real, you guys. I actually did Taxi, the C-130. Like for real. Yup. Which was pretty epic. When you get to do that.
The Albuquerque airport, that's for real. There is a fair bit of CG in this show and in subsequent episodes, but when you're looking out the window, the side cockpit window, and she's taxiing it through the Albuquerque airport ramp, she's really doing that.
Yeah, I'm using the wheel to actually taxi the plane, which was
what could go wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
It's a good skill to have going forward in a pinch.
Isn't it?
You never
Yeah.
know.
We got an extra $1,000 worth of insurance that day.
Miriam,
So it was great to do a lot of rehearsals, even like the scene with the excavator, being able to operate that. I had to know how to operate it perfectly. So when you get on it, it's not like I have a manual like, oh, okay, this button, let me, look at Google, whatever, and YouTube, and practicing that and what that is, how that lives in my body. And just when you get on whatever you do, you're just an expert, a perfect at whatever it is. So that was a lot of fun, being able to practice these things, and a lot of great things.
But I was going to say, and to celebrate what she did, if you think about the way we, as humans, we mirror each other, right? Like if you're talking to your friend and she starts to get sad, you become sad. If she takes it in a conversation in the direction of like an argument, then you do that. You elevate or escalate to where they're arguing. She's not allowed to do that. I'm screaming at her, and she's not allowed to mirror that, which is not only the human reciprocity, it's the actor's reciprocity. But you can't look high as a kite. You can't look stoned. You can't look like a robot. Please don't look stupid. Be smart, be intelligent, take it in. And they were all dialing this in. Vince, Gordon Smith, Allison Tatlock, the murderers row that you had behind you.
It was a group effort. Yeah.
I watched this person dial it in, and I'm so in awe of what you did. But very hard job, deceptively very difficult job.
Thank you. Having you as a partner was everything. It was a gift of gifts.
Talking about
Miriam's job was easy. Let's ask her
obviously.
questions.
No, but the challenge for your relationship, the two of you, to establish, we go into this show and there's obviously a long history there that you have to convey right from the beginning. I mean, who is Helen to Carol in your mind, and how do you, convey so much so quickly?
Well, I don't know. You all fell deeply in love with Ray, right? Like, that's not hard to do. And I feel like when we worked together, we were like, oh, so we're just best friends who haven't met yet. Like, that was what that already felt like.
This is true.
Ray is just a phenomenal actress who makes everything you have to do easy. She's so generous. And there was space provided for us to learn to feel like a couple. And the writing is so good. And everything was there to help you do the best you could possibly do, including to have this person who I would love to have I'm proposing to you right now. Is that weird? I should tell my husband.
Yes.
Someone call my husband. Will you? No, get down on one knee. No, she made it easy. The writers made it easy. The whole environment made it easy. And it's fun. You're doing what we love to do, which is play make-believe, which is create a story. And the story doesn't work if this relationship, that loss needs to matter. Right. And so you feel like, oh, I have the job that is really precious because I believe in this show, and we have to do this. We have to build this together. So it was fun and scary and wonderful. And, it's one of my best relationships, really.
You guys did such an amazing job.
You were adorable together right from the first afternoon you guys met, right? It was like,
it was really weird. We clicked so fast.
Fast.
Yeah.
80s music was a huge part of it.
Yeah. Well, in any relationship, really.
But we knew as actors, and I talked to you about this too, this has to sustain the episode. The grief of losing her best friend, her partner, love of her life, also her buffer to business and social world is gone, and it has to inform everything. And there are many decisions that my character makes for multiple episodes that are based in that grief. And so we talked about that. Even in the scene where I lose you, it's like it had to be hard. It could not be just cinematic. Because it has to live in our memory.
Yeah.
For a long time.
And also, if in some ways Helen's the conduit for Carol's happiness, in some way, she's sort of
really for her career and mine.
Well, yeah, but also, she won't allow her to close herself off from what's beautiful about the world and what there is to love about the world.
Absolutely.
And so Helen, is just,
and her character is bringing you up when she's like, can we find your joy again? It's very, I think, sinister of Karolina and shitty.
Wow. Sorry.
Well, that love affair ended. Oh, well. I do also appreciate, by the way, as someone that's covered Twilight and Outlander, the profession that you gave her in that world. I don't know how you landed on that of all professions, Vince.
Romance novels?
I love that so much.
How'd you pick that?
I don't really, I know it's definitely not putting them down or anything. It's always the question everybody asks, where do the ideas come from? And the answer is always deeply unsatisfying because the honest answer is, I don't know. It felt like, in a weird way, I'll admit this much. I think in a weird way, Carol Sturka, by the way, named after Carol Burnett, one of her favorite people.
Oh my God, legend.
Yeah, and a character name from an episode, Twilight Zone, an episode of my favorite show, arguably my favorite show ever. It was a Fritz Weaver character in an episode called Third Planet from the Sun, I think. But his last name was Sturka, and I just liked the name, and I looked it up online, and I didn't see any reference to it except for Twilight Zone, so I just say it sounds good. But I will admit to this much that Carol Sturka is kind of in certain ways based on me, exaggerated. But the thing we're earlier we're talking about fans. It got us here. It's given us wonderful lives. When Carol kind of shits on her profession. performatively, I think, in first in the car as she's being driven away from the Barnes and Noble, and then in the bar. It's this thing about this is so good. The way I see it, it's like this is so good. I'm just afraid it's going to go away like that. And so I gotta inoculate myself. I have to prophylactically act like it doesn't matter in case it does all disappear. Yeah. But the writer part of it came first, but then the romantasy author part of it, it just seems like a more fun profession with fun fans and whatnot. I guess that's where it came from. Yeah.
Talk about the fans. I mean, obviously, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. I would imagine they're part of your lives almost every day, if not every day. Fans want to reference them to you. I mean, what does that feel like? These are shows that didn't just come and go. They still live very much in people's hearts and minds. What does it mean to you when fans come up quoting the show, showing you fan art? I mean, I'm sure it continues.
It means the world.
Day.
I mean, people think I'm being all aw shucks when I say I didn't know Breaking Bad would be a hit, but we just did not. I mean, the best, once the show was ordered, which blew my mind, or rather once the pilot, it all happens in steps. And once a pilot was ordered, I thought, this is going to be great because they're going to let me, I don't know how, why, they're going to let me direct the pilot of Breaking Bad. And I'm going to have this great calling card. I'm going to do the best I can do on it. And I'll have this 48-minute calling card I can use to get jobs. And I'm not, that was for real. Seriously, that was the highest I could imagine this thing could, because it's like, who the hell's going to watch this thing? And then... I mean, I still feel like I got to pinch myself and see if I'm dreaming. It still blows my mind to this day. That hasn't changed. And I mean, you just for the writers in the room, the folks who want to do this job, more power to you, and go down swinging on stuff you believe in, because there is more failure than success. And a lot of people tell you, don't write about thus and so. That was so 2018, or don't do this thing, don't do this genre. Everybody's over that. A much better writer than I said, famously, nobody knows anything, William Goldman. And he was 1,000% right. And it's going to hurt when you get kicked in the teeth, and it will happen more often than not. You might as well, and it's going to hurt a little more if you really care about the thing you're working on, but you might as well go down swinging on the thing you care about. And that's my advice.
100%. Yep. And for you, Ray, I mean, Kim probably still comes up again, probably every day. What does it tickle you? I mean, the fact that character cut through the way it did and still does must still boggle your mind.
It does. I'll try not to cry. She will always hold a place in my heart, and I like Vince when he's writing stuff, and Peter Gould when he's writing stuff. It's not setting out to preach something or do something. And I do think, and I've been doing what I do for a very long time, with incredible people around me. I've had mostly exceptional experiences. But something happened on Better Call Saul where at some point, I think it was Peter that said to me, I was doing some scene with Bob, and he's doing something idiotic, as he does. And my character is angry, and she should be. I did the scene. We rehearsed the scene, and he loved it, and we're getting ready to film it. And then when we went to shoot the first take, at the very end, I did like a wry smile at the end to let the character know, I still got you, I'm fine. And Peter said, why? I don't think we need that. And I was like, I was just trying something. And then I just told him the truth, which was scary for me. And I said, I thought, and this is no offense to the other shows I've done, it's just about, we all have to know what show you're in, what audience are you doing a farce? Are you doing black box theater? Are you doing network, like we're all doing different things. They're all, I would never be pejorative. I'm very proud of some of the things that I've done, but they are different venues. They are different beasts. He said, why are you doing that? And I said, I guess just to let him know that like I'm not mad. I'll still be back. And Peter, I think it was Peter, said, as long as you have your own code of ethics and stick to it, we will love you for that. Please don't ever worry about being likable. And it was this release to me as an actress. I was like, what?
You were like deprogrammed right there. Like, what?
What are you talking about?
Like, really, because for 25 years I've been told I have to be likable. But
yeah, and then I gotta tell you, if you build it, they will come. That's how smart everybody is watching television. Like, I thought like I had to, and you don't spoon feed people. And I was like, oh. And then suddenly I'm playing this character that often my closest confidant was the audience. Because I wasn't speaking, but Kim had thoughts. And the only person in the room that knew what I really thought about the dumbasses that were talking to me was the audience. Only them. They were my confidant. And it just became this incredible relationship. And to this day, when I walk around and I meet anybody on the street, and it's like the other day in Manhattan, 16-year-old skater dude, tatted up. And he's like, Wexler! Skating through the lights. And then it's like, you know, a 70-year-old mom, like in like scrubs. And she's like, you meant so much to me. I will never get over what this character meant to so many people, male and female. And just this idea of like, pull yourself up from your own bootstraps. And like, what if you didn't have to be likable? What if you tried to get ahead and people kept shoving you down? Like, I will never get over it. It's meant the world to me. And I hope they follow me in this one. And I know that Vince meant to write this character. And one of the things I'm trying to bring from Kim, and this is a very different character, is that license that Vince and Peter gave to me is like, if I'm just true to it and I don't try to be likable and I don't try to be cute, and I'm definitely not cute. I know you saw the first 2 episodes. What if I'm just as honest as I can be, and it gets really, really scary, and I'm 53 and I was just given a lead by the top television producer in the world?
That's right.
What if that's okay? Yeah. And what if still there's going to be a 16-year-old skater that identifies with the universal things we're trying to say about human nature? So that's what I'm trying to do.
You're succeeding.
That was awesome, man.
Amazing. Bravo.
Did you guys see why I fell in love with her? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
This time flew by, guys. Let's tease a little bit. So there's a lot more to come. And the good news is there's going to be a second season. It's already been greenlit.
That's what we heard!
Thank you, Sony and Apple TV Plus. Thank you, guys.
Is there anything you want to tease about, past episode 2? That
Vince, do you want to tell us what happens in season 2?
Wait, is season 2 the musical episode?
Yes, and there's a lot of
shit.
flashbacks
I'm
about my wife, right?
Yep.
I'm alive. You heard it. You heard woos. They're demanding it.
Groundswell.
Demanding it. I'm sorry. It's not coming from me.
I love what you said earlier. The show is intended to continue to surprise you, and hopefully it will. That is our deep intention. And we got a lot of. I don't know. I can't give away much. I'm really proud of this show. It's got some crazy shit in it. It's got some really dark moments and really dramatic moments, and then it, as you've seen examples of already, it just suddenly turns on a dime and it's funny as hell, and then it gets dramatic again, and it's so elastic, this show, and I don't it's a credit to these ladies and to some other actors you haven't, and to Samba Shut, who is Mr. Diabate, who is so much fun. I love that guy. He's got Air Force Kumba, as you've seen, and
Air Force One,
and he calls it Air Force Kumba.
Oh, that's right.
And
Air Force Kumba.
and Carlos Manuel Vesca. Boy, can't wait till you meet him. He is friggin' awesome, and all these actors are so great. and I this wonderful things these ladies said about me. God bless you. But it was very much a group effort. I have a bunch of really wonderful writers. They've really delivered, and I don't know. I can't give away much, but it endeavors to be a very different kind of TV show.
Can I say, as a fan of it, that I appreciate watching a show that asks me to come to it with conversation, asks me to think about what it's saying. I don't just sit back. I was saying this to you earlier, Josh. I don't just sit back and stuff food in my face. I mean, I still stuff food in my face, but and let it happen to me. I'm being asked to engage, to question, and to come up with my own hypotheses about what's being shown to me and my own feelings about it, and I'm activated by it. I was really excited by that.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation starter. Yeah, we did a lot of that on set. We'd be like, but what if it this and that, and dissect it, and yeah, it was just.
I'm here for shows that make you write a dissertation after every episode.
You just
right?
don't watch it and just forget about it. You actually want to talk about it and have a conversation.
I was like, I feel like it's
so
sit
amazing.
forward television versus sit back.
Yep.
And believe me, I sit back. Anybody like Below Deck? I love Below Deck. I love that show. But I'm just saying, like, oh, I gotta pay attention. I don't know. I enjoy that. I think one of the things that you've always done well is rewarding. First of all, you assume the intelligence of the audience, and then secondly, you reward it. So if you're watching and you're like, I don't understand what just happened, it's not because they didn't. I think they missed something.
Right.
There was a plot hole, or the character wasn't directed well. It's like, no, I'm just supposed to keep watching. Like, there's a payoff for this. So that's always great. I think it's fun.
It's off to an amazing start. We're going to stick around for another hour to talk Below Deck. If anybody wants to stick around, Ray's going to.
I will 100% do that.
We're not going anywhere.
Vince has no idea what Below Deck is. I can promise
I've
you.
heard of it.
You do?
I've heard it. I don't know what happens, but it's. Is it Star
I don't
Trek?
know.
Guess what happens? They sleep together.
Yeah, I'd watch that. So Josh, happy, sad, confused. Which one?
all of the above after watching the show.
Oh, that's the perfect title for this show.
It kind of is. Pluribus works
His
too.
podcast.
Congratulations, guys, on the show.
And so ends another edition of Happy, Sad, Confused. Remember to review, rate, and subscribe to this show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm a big podcast person. I'm Daisy Ridley, and I definitely wasn't pressured to do this by Josh.